This your boy Maserati Pez kicking out the first episode of Let's Talk About It, a different conversation, man. Man, look, man, today I got a cousin, a childhood friend, man, a partner, a homie, a homeboy from the Sandbox, man. Y'all know him in Remond Crowder. I got him in my phone in Mon. Got that what he's standing on. A true family man, a true stand-up guy. So, what we want to get into first, man, we want you to tell the people, man, how was it coming up from where we came from? As far as West Side, Carrollton, Georgia, Davis Home, Old Project. Take them folks there for a minute, man.
Man, people be thinking now that stuff kind of rough, but how we had it was a totally different type of crowd. Like, we talking about shootouts every day. We talking about we at the basketball court shooting ball, and only thing you hear, pow, 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 and you running. You know what I'm saying? You don't know where the gunshot coming from, but at the same time, like, to make it out and to weather that storm, you gotta want more. And you know what I'm saying? You'll go through stuff, and even when you younger, like, you'll see your parents go through stuff, you'll see your friend lose their parents and all type of stuff. But you gotta be a person that willing to step up sometime and just say, it's gonna get better. It ain't gonna always be like this. But in order to it to get better, you gotta keep pushing.
You gotta want better.
You gotta want better. Ain't no other way around it.
So correct me if I'm wrong now. 80s baby.
Yep.
Project baby.
Yep.
Black baby.
Yep.
Hood baby.
Yep.
From that point until now, when I come to your house, it's a Mercedes in the yard. It's a Lexus in the yard. It's a Maserati in the yard. What motivated you? Because so many children that come from where we come from don't have that drive, don't have that ambition, don't even see that far. To see that far and to live like it in a certain way is a facade,
right,
to a plethora of people and the masses of the people coming from where we come from. But you had a different vision in life. And your father, Vic Crowder, one of the greatest barbers that come out of Carrollton, he's been in your life from day one up till today. What was the game? What was the knowledge that he instilled in you?
Be different. Like, from far as I can remember, when I was a little boy, like 5, 6, I can remember conversations. I didn't get whoopings. Like, my daddy probably done whooped me like 2 times my whole life. But the conversation that he had, I would have rather took the ass with. Right, because it over quick. You know what I'm saying? Right. But the lectures that he gave me, watch your friends, watch who you be around, watch how you move. I'm talking about, he started this at 5 to now. You know what I'm saying? And so it weighed on me. Like, and every day I was blessed to have that, because everybody ain't blessed with that. Right. Everybody ain't blessed with that, and everybody ain't blessed with not just a father, but somebody who came from that same environment. Right. and made it better for him and his family. So he just stayed on me, man. Like, anytime he used to tell me, you get in trouble, you got to deal with that. Right. You got to deal with that. Yeah, I'm gonna support you to a certain extent, but I ain't finna put myself in harm's way if you wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't wrong, and if you doing what you supposed to do, I'm one call away. So I always look at that. Even to this day, I just watch what I do and watch how I move, because I don't want to put him in a bad position, because I know at any given time he coming. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I just look at it like that, man.
Yeah, man. I remember, man, when we was in the projects young, man, I remember spending the night with you all the time, going over there. I lost my father when I was 12, mm-hmm. and I used to see the interaction with you and Vic, and I used to be like, man, I wish my father was still here, right, to give me the game that I'm seeing Vic give you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, and the transition into manhood, and now you have a son, Ashton, mm-hmm. right?
Yeah.
So, are you instilling the same knowledge and the same wisdom that your daddy gave you? You passing it down to Ashton?
Every bit of it. I talk to him about everything, from girls He 12 years old. I talked to him about girls. I talked to him about drugs. I talked to him about jobs. I talked to him about what you wanna do. You gotta know, and no matter what you decide to do, you do it because you want to do it. You don't make a decision based on somebody else. You make a decision based on how you feel and what you want to do, and that'll take you a long way, because you won't be, by doing that, you won't be a follower. You won't be a follower because you your own man. And so I instill that in him every time I'm with him.
Man, come on, man. Y'all make some noise for that, man. Y'all make some noise for that, man. Yeah, so, okay, moving on from the hood, growing up in the project, graduated from Carrollton High School. You was in the streets at one point. I seen you in the streets at one point. We was in the streets together at one point.
Yep.
You had to make a conscious decision at a young age that either I'm going to stay in these streets, or like Jesus say, I'm going to corporate thug it. How old were you when you made that decision?
Man, like complete. If we want to talk completely, man, maybe like, I'm 35 now, about to be 36, probably 30. 30. Probably 30 completely. I still dib and dab, but like that because I felt like it was something that I had to do. But at the time, like, first of all, you don't have to do nothing. You make your decision, like I was saying before. And I felt like, well, this fast money, yeah, I'm going to work every day, but it ain't getting me the way I want to be. So you know what I'm saying? I kept dibbing and dabbing. Then, like, when I end up getting married and stuff, having my daughter, it was just like, you know what? Like, these people depend on you. You know what I'm saying? That's taking yourself out of a situation and looking at whatever you do, what's gonna affect them. And you know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do when you become a man. You got to put the people that mean the most to you before yourself a lot of times. And that's what made me completely like, you know what? It ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? I done made it this far. I'd be a fool to go now. I'd be a fool to put myself in a situation, leave my family now, and somebody else have to take care of my responsibility and my daughter and my son in the streets doing what I see other kids doing. And I ain't trying to have that.
They're real. Yeah, you gotta respect that right there. So speaking on your marriage, how long you and your wife been together?
We've been together now going on 10 years. We about to be married 7 years in July.
Yeah, that was I was there at the wedding, man. It was a great wedding, great time, man, to see you
appreciate it, man.
To see you get married. And when you made that transition with Maplehurst, the company,
right,
and they moved you out to, I believe, Tennessee. How did that play a role? How did that play out with your family as far as like moving to another state?
At first it was kind of rough, because when I first decided to move, I was Maplehurst, and I decided to move because they offered me a position. I moved, but my stepdaughter, she was still in school, so I made her, once again, putting your family before yourself. I was like, you know what? I was like, I ain't gonna move her on her last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was her last year of school, her last year of high school, and I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna do that to her. You know what I'm saying? So what I ended up doing, like, my wife and my kids, they were still in Georgia for like 7 to 9 months. You know what I'm saying? We'll see each other on the weekend, every weekend. Either I'm coming to Georgia or they come to Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of rough at first, but it's one of them things where my wife understood that, look, I'm doing this to better us. You know what I'm saying? And then with me, I was like, well, I got to do what I got to do. Regardless, you know what I'm saying? Even if she on board with it or she not, like, this a good opportunity for me, and I got to take it. And that's what I did, and she understood that, and I respect that.
Right. They're real. So we're gonna backtrack for a minute. From the time you was at Maplehurst, correct? When you opened up your first business as well, right?
Yeah. I was working for Maplehurst for like 2 years, and one day I was at work, And I was like, yeah, I'm making decent money, but I'm tired of just coming to work for somebody. Right. You know, at the time I was like 23, I think. And I was like, you know, I'm just tired of working for people. So like I had reached out to my uncle and we just talked, and I was like, look, like let's go in half and open up a sports bar, open up a club. I'm 23 years old. Right. I was like, you ain't gotta put up no more than I gotta put up. I said, we'll go half and half. And we did it, man. Fusion Restaurant Bar and Grill on Columbia Drive in Carrollton. And we did it, and that was a learning experience, because when we ended up opening that, like he had a family. At the time I just had my son. I had my son, and this was before I met my wife, and my uncle still had a family. So I told him, I was like, look, you keep your job. You know, then he was driving trucks or whatever. I was like, you keep your job, and like on the everyday, all day basis, like I run the business. But me not knowing, like it ain't easy. It ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to treat that business like a child. You got to be there every single day. Right. Like, because if not, if your customers want to come in and get lunch and you ain't open, you missing money, and then that customer gonna go somewhere else. Right. So it was a learning experience, man. It didn't work out, but it was one of the best experiences of my life, and I wouldn't change it for that.
Right down, make some more for that. Yeah. Right down, make some more for that, man.
Yeah, man.
So even with Fusion, I was doing time at that time. Mm-hmm. I was in prison at that time, and but I knew when you had it going on, y'all even had celebrities though, right?
Yeah. We had a couple people, like a guy from 112. We had a Valentine's Day party one time, and we had a dude from 112 come down, and then Ryan Cameron. Like, we had somebody reach out to him. We had the alumni for their homecoming, University of West Georgia homecoming. He came and he hosted a party there for the Capitals and the alumni. So, you know what I'm saying, Ryan Cameron, he a millionaire now. So right. that would be it. Like I said, I'm 23. I'm like, okay, yeah. So yeah, man. So like it was like I said, it was a good experience, and I learned a lot from it, man.
From that hustle right there, all this building up from just being a product of your environment and seeing all the hustlers around you, mm-hmm. and seeing even your daddy hold down, you know what I'm saying, the household, and knowing for a fact that, okay, in order to do what you got to do in the United States of America, you got to go out here and get some money and make something shake. So from even from that right there, man, I remember, what was it, the phone cases.
Yeah.
The phone cases, that was a hustle. And then what came after that? The clothes.
The clothes.
Tell me how you got into that.
Man, I was one day I was sitting at home, and I was thinking, and I was like, man, I need to find me a hustle. And I was like, everything, like I always say, like everything you see around you is for sale. If you wouldn't see it, it wouldn't be for sale. And if it went for sale, you wouldn't see it. So I was like, man, I gotta find me something. And I was just looking online, and I was like, who spend the most money? I was like, who spend? I said, women. You know what I'm saying? I said when it come to spending the money, women spend the money. So I was like, you know, I can't go nowhere locally and get no clothes and resell them. I got online and started getting it directly from a warehouse in China, and it just took off. And I was working at Maplehurst, but I was making like $1,000 a week just on clothes. You know what I'm saying? So like it was just a hustle, and I was doing it. And I did it for like 2 or 3 years. Like even to this day, like this when I first started, that was like 6 years ago. Even to this day, my wife still be ordering clothes, running a business like as a side business. But like that was another good experience, man. Like learning how to reach out to people way overseas. I learned how to, you know what I'm saying, download apps and text message these people way in China. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm a dude from the hood, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody taught me that. It's just something that I had to learn, and I learned it. And that's a thing that people need to understand. Like whatever you want to do, you can't wait on nobody else. You can't wait on nobody else to do it. You got to do it yourself, and you got to make it happen. And that's what I did.
So working at Maplehurst,
mm-hmm.
the phones,
yep,
the club,
mm-hmm.
the clothes,
yep.
Ultimate hustler, getting it by any means. And for everybody out there that, you know, you gotta respect the 9 to 5, but they're just a product. They're just proof right here that you can go clock in on a clock but they don't got to be your only income.
Mm-hmm.
You can have something going on outside of that, and that not only defines like we grew up, go to this plant, stay there 30 years, that's it.
That's it.
But it's a different day and time now, and you can get money so many different kind of ways.
Man,
you just gotta apply yourself.
You gotta apply
yourself. You gotta
yourself.
Want it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like you said, you connected with North,
mm-hmm.
and you connected with the people in China. So it's all about who you connecting to as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
mm-hmm.
like if a person want to be on but ain't connecting to the right people or putting himself around the right people with the same mindset that want to be on and want to take that risk of doing something bigger,
right,
then that person 9 times out of 10 will never prevail like that.
Nah, never will. And once you do get connected, you got to keep them connections intact. Right. Like you can't, like you got to keep your fake card clean no matter what you're doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you in the street, no matter if you working, no matter what. Like you got to keep your fake card clean because you never know when you're gonna need those people again. You know what I'm saying? And just off principle alone, off morals alone, you got to keep your face clean because it take you a long way.
Right. So how we're gonna switch it up for a minute. Most kids from our neighborhood, coming from where we come from, and not just the city of Carrollton. We talking about worldwide.
Right.
The hood is the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everywhere.
And most kids from the hood don't get a chance to make it to college.
Mm-hmm.
With you being from the hood, you still made it to college.
Yeah, like I think it was, I don't know how old I was, but at the time it was another thing, something that I don't even apply to this day. I was just like, I need to go get a trade under my belt. You know what I'm saying? Just a trade, something that you can do with your hands, something that nobody never take from you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So one day I was sitting at the house again. I always sitting at the house thinking. So I was like, you know what? I said, I'm gonna go take up massage therapist. You know what I'm saying? I was like, cause that can go a long way. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going to school in Atlanta. At the time it was Georgia Medical, and I ended up going up there, and I finished, graduated, got my certificate and everything. But I just didn't never apply. But to this day, if I wanted to do that, I could still go back to do that. That's something that I already done completed. I already completed the courses and everything. I probably had to take some extra courses to get updated. But I just decided to go get that trade. Just another thing I decided to do, man. Another thing I always have under my belt.
Man, that's so real, man. I'm sitting here listening to your story. I grew up with you,
mm-hmm.
and I seen all this. But for the people out there that don't know you, for the kids that gonna watch this, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they thinking that like we in the hood, we don't got nothing. It ain't no way out. We gotta bang, we gotta rob, we gotta steal, we gotta sell drugs, and we both was in that life at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So not to knock it,
right?
But for me to be here today and for you to be here today, and you can elaborate and talk about college, corporate world,
mm-hmm.
running a business. I mean, you yourself give inspiration to so many kids that's coming from where we came from worldwide. There's so many kids out there, man, and I talk to so many kids that straight up, I'm thugging in the street. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have the guidance. They don't have maybe the father the father might be in prison. They don't have the people around them that can tell them like, hey, this don't gotta be it.
Right.
Your life ain't over with
right.
yet. You might live to be 90. You might live to be 100.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like whatever you going through now, that's just your journey through life, and you're a living testament. Like you was there,
mm-hmm.
and now you here.
Yep.
So can't nobody say that it can't be done.
Right.
Can't nobody say that.
It can be
because
done.
You here,
mm-hmm.
and you done it, and you did it,
yep.
and you still doing it. You feel what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? And so, like when I said a living testament, like I know you put God on the front of everything.
Yeah.
and you grew up in Place of Refuge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that for a minute. Just growing up in church, your mama having you in church, your grandma having you in church, and what they did for you.
Man, it made me see a lot. It really made me far as how I treat people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what church done to me, done for me, because I felt like, you know, that you reap what you sow. It's
right.
real.
Right.
No matter if you
right.
look at it as karma, no matter what you look at it, like you put out bad energy, you get it back. It's all the same, no matter how you look at it. And just growing up in church, it was a blessing, because if I went in church as much as I was, and my mama and my daddy didn't actually end up moving us out the projects because they got blessed with a Habitat Humanity house. Mm-hmm. If that wouldn't have happened, like this whole course would have probably been different. More than likely, because I would have been around more stuff than I had already seen a lot. But at the time, like it was the best thing. It was the best thing happened for me, because it happened when I was 13. You know what I'm saying? When I'm just now becoming a teenager, you know, you start feeling yourself a little bit.
Right.
You start feeling yourself.
Little grown man.
Yeah, a little grown man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you start dibbing and dabbing and this and that. And you know, and if it's right there at your front door, you know what I'm saying, it's easy to access to it. But when you across the town a little bit, it ain't as easy. And you know, like that was a good thing for me, man. And just listen to the pastor of the church. Like a lot of stuff everybody say, like a lot of stuff go on in church, and every church. But my personal opinion about him, like he a real genuine person.
Shout out to Pastor Walker.
Yeah, shout out to Pastor Walker. Like he a real genuine person, and I respect that. Like I respect that, and that's why even when I go to church now, I don't go all the time, but when I do go, you know what I'm saying? Like it's good to see. It's really good to see my family and see the people that I grew up with somewhat. But it's really good to see him and his wife, because they genuinely good people.
Right.
You know, so like it put me where I needed to be. And at the time when I was a little young, I had a little temper a little bit, so it kind of mellowed me down. So that was a good experience, and I got a lot from it.
Yeah, that's kind of like how I feel about church. Like it's the not more so if it's the Bible true or not. Mm-hmm. Not more so if it's fact for fact, but it's the lesson behind the teaching. Like it's teaching peace. Mm-hmm. It's teaching love thy brother, you love yourself. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? Yep. Turn the other cheek, and that's kind of hard to do now.
Right.
Hard to do. But it teaches that turn the other cheek and love your brother as you love yourself, your neighbor, and stuff like that right there. Mm-hmm. So even when I find myself like going through the most or whatever, I'll be like, hey, Pat, well, you need to go to Bible study, mm-hmm. or you need to go to church, because it's a place where it's at that point, at that moment, for them 2 or 3 hours, it's love, right. It's caring, mm-hmm. and it's no negativity, no bad energy. So being brought up in the church, I remember when we were young, man. I remember going to church with you, man, and listening to Pastor Walker, man, and he delivered that message so strong. Shout out to my pastor, Pastor Mitchell, mm-hmm. and you know, that's just to bring your kids up in there. It's so many different religions out here,
right?
And it can be Buddhism, Judaism, Hinduism. Mm-hmm. It can be you know, it's just so many, and not no other religion, but you know, Christianity is what we grew up on, and the message that you know we received from it, I can definitely say I know helped my life,
right,
and definitely help your life as well.
Most
you know what I'm saying? Plus our mama. Shout out to Tamarie, shout out to Suzanne, man. Yeah. You know that was on the boy. You don't get your butt out that bed and get ready for church. You know what time it is. You know what time it is, man. I ain't trying to get no whooping.
Man, I'm telling you.
Man. Put these clothes. I'm trying to go outside later on.
For real,
right,
man.
Right, man. So it's crazy that, you know, it's so surreal that, like, the childhood, like, how we grew up, and to get to this point where we at now. And, I mean, it's a great feeling. I applaud you for all your accomplishments and everything you doing. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Just for coming on the show and giving these folks the game and stuff, man. We got so much to talk about, man. We got a bottle of Bel Air. That Bel Air, I think it's kind of cold right now. It's chilling right now. So they like, hold on, they just got done talking about church. They talking about Bel Air. You know what I'm saying? Drinking out the wine, man. Drinking out the wine.
Right.
Oh, man. Drinking out the wine, man. You know, we ain't gonna do it like that. But yeah, man. So yeah, it's definitely a great feeling, man. And just your story alone, because a lot of people can question that story, but now, man, I was right there with you.
Yeah.
I was right there with you, man. You remember that time we was shooting basketball, man, at the park.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Doc Ferris.
Yeah.
And Tom Georgian came out, man. And they said, y'all just keep shooting basketball. We want to just take a picture of y'all, man.
Yeah.
And we ended up on the front page
On the
of the
front page.
Georgia newspaper.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. On the front page.
On the front page of Time, Georgia, man. It's hanging up in the house right now, man. And that's how long we've been rocking.
Yeah.
That's how long we've been kicking it, man.
Yeah, long time.
And I guess, it was Time, Georgia, but I guess, they slick paparazzi back then.
Look. Right.
Saying? Like, oh yeah, they gonna be something. They gonna be somebody. So let us go ahead and get these pictures now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And people don't know that, man. So to stay intact and still have that love and that bond and motivate each other at this day and age, at this time, from way back to the playing at the park, man, riding our bikes throughout the college and riding our bikes to Walmart and stuff like that right there, man.
Going down 27 in the middle of the road like we ain't got no sense.
Yeah, so, to get to this point, man, and yeah, man, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into them investments though. That's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna get into them investment, man, because you making major move with that, man. A lot of niggas ain't on that, but
right.
We're gonna definitely get into that, man.
All right.
You ready to talk about that?
Yeah,
you ready
man.
to talk about that money, man?
Yeah,
they
man.
They call you money man. They call you money man. They call you money man. So it's a reason. It's a reason for that. And like I said, man, like our conversation that we have, it's always inspiration, motivation, and I know we push each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cuz keep going, and we grew up together. I'm gonna keep going.
Right.
And we gonna get through this. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make it to the top. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's definitely what the drive is, and that's definitely what's going on for the people that don't know. They're coming from where we coming from. Like anything is possible. But you gotta have the heart. You gotta have the mind. You gotta have the drive. You gotta have the ambition. You just gotta want it.
You gotta want it.
You know what I'm saying? You got the same 24 hours in a day as anybody else. The same 24 hours in a day as Jay-Z. The same 24 hours in a day as a Barack Obama. You just gotta want it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so, yeah, man, we definitely gonna get into that. We're gonna shake that up, man. We're gonna pop this bottle of goddamn Bel Air, and we're gonna make it do what it do. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, man, we gonna Bel Air?
Yeah.
Hey, man, shout out to the biggest boss, man. So the move to Canada. Like I say, I always go back to where we started from the roots.
Right.
Coming from the projects, now you out the country. Tell me a little bit about that.
Man, that was one of the best experiences of my life, because I went from Carrollton, and then they moved me to Nashville, and then they was having problems. They were having problems with one of their facilities in Toronto, right outside of Toronto, and they asked me. They was like, "Can you go up there?" The first time I went, they was like, "Can you go up there for like a week?" So I went up there and I showed them. I had to go up there and train some employees, and I went up there, man, and I showed them. But when I got there, I was the only black dude out of 300 employees. I'm talking about managers and everything. I was the only black person in the whole facility.
Only black person.
Only black person. They treated me like a king the whole time I was there.
Yeah, they should.
Hey, as they should. And it was just crazy because I was like, here I am in a whole nother country, like Maplehurst. They paid for paid for me an expedited passport because it was like a last minute thing. So I was like, okay, yeah, they really need me up there. Right, so right. when I end up going, man, it was just a good experience. Cause when I got there, the plant manager he met me at my hotel room and he was like, come on, I'm gonna take you over to the plant. So when I went over there, and he was like, he brought all the other supervisors and managers, and he was like, this Victor Crowder, he came from Nashville, he originally from Georgia in the U.S., and he was like, he came here to fix shit. He was like, so whatever, straight up, he was like, he came here to fix shit. He was like, so whatever he needs y'all to do it. He was like, because if y'all don't, we're gonna have an issue. So from the beginning, man, it was just like every day, every time I walked in, and it was just like, he here. You know what I'm saying? He here and he here to help. So it was a great experience. But I even like flying on Delta flight, first class, like on the first seat when you first get in. And like this one time I had got on, and it was this white guy, and he was sitting beside me, and it was in this when I had reached on Detroit, because I had one stop in Detroit one time, and the guy, he couldn't even look at me. And I said, here I am, just left a country with a whole bunch of white people that treat me like a king. As soon as I get back in the U.S., do what I got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So it was just another eye-opener that what we still dealing with to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye said, like racism still alive, they just be concealing it. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, so
no cap.
Like it was one of them situations where I was just like, you know what I'm saying? All white people ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's the thing. Some people like, they all the same. That ain't true. That ain't true. Cause I experienced it myself. And you know, it was a blessing. Like I said, that was the first time I went. And so probably about 6 months later, they decided to shut the facility down in Nashville where they relocated me to. And so they was like, will you move to Canada? I said, nah, I ain't moving to Canada. I said, that's too much because I still got a son back in Georgia that I got to look after. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't trying to just leave my son out here like that.
Goddamn, make some noise for that, man. Man said he ain't trying to leave his son out there like that. Make some noise for that, man.
Yeah, man. So, you know, when I end up going back, when they end up shutting the facility down, and I end up going back to Canada, they were like, well, can you go for 3 months? So I was like, all right, but they were like, well, you could fly back to Nashville every Friday. Every Friday. You come up here on Monday morning and you flying back every Friday. So I'd be home on the weekend, and then every Monday morning I got to get up and fly back to Canada. I did that for 3 months straight, you know, and they kept trying to get me to move to Canada. They was like, what is going to take? You know what I'm saying? Whatever we got to pay you, we'll pay you. And I was just like, it ain't the money. It's my son. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's just something that I had to make that decision because it was bigger than money at that point. You know, before then, everything I was doing for my career, I was doing for the money. But at that point, it was like, nah, that's too much, man. So I just decided not to take that position.
So after deciding that the best interest for your son, and after not taking that position, you came back to Georgia, right?
Well, first when I first came back after the 3 months, I went back to Nashville, and I chilled for like 3 months because the money they was paying me when I was going to back and forth to Canada, like they was paying me almost double my salary, plus they were paying for everything, all my expenses, the flights, like so I wasn't coming out of no money out of my pocket. So after those 3 months, plus I got a severance package. So when I got after those 3 months going back and forth to Canada, I came back to Nashville.
Hold on. Not a severance package, right?
Yeah.
Not a pack.
Nah.
That's different. I want to know.
You're right.
Some niggas get packs.
Yeah, you're right.
I got that packing. See, you got the package. Okay, we gotta make that shit cool.
Yeah, man. So I came back to Nashville, And I was there for, I chilled for like 3 months. I didn't work. I just took time out with my wife and my daughter and my son. And so one day I was like, you know what, it's time to go back to work. So I called my old plant manager in Nashville. He was like, well, when you come back from Canada, wherever I'm working at, he didn't even know where he was going to be working at, but he knew he was going to get a job. He was like, wherever I be working at, just give me a call and I'll make sure I get a position for you. So I end up going, man, and I end up calling him. I called him like on a Monday morning. Like I called after them 3 months that I chilled, I called him on a Monday morning. I was like, where you at? Like, this the plant manager. Like, he over everybody. He was like, I was like, where you at now? And he told me. I was like, y'all got in a position. He was like, yeah, we got an office position. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, you gonna work strictly 40 hours at $20 an hour, and you won't get no overtime. So I thought about it, and I was like, man, they're like $800 a week, and then I can do it at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because my lifestyle had succeeded that. So I was like, I can't really do that with $800. Like, I got responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So then he was like, or you can get on the floor. And he was like, it's a lead position open. I figured you didn't want that because you'll be on the floor all day. And then I was like, well, he was like, they get a lot of overtime. I said, run it. I said, run. He said, we'll still pay you that $20 an hour, but you might get like 20, 25 hour overtime a week.
That time and a half.
That time and a half. So, you know, I end up taking that position because I ain't never been scared to work. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got where I was at. Right. So I end up taking that position, man, and I was there for like a year. And after that year was running up, my wife, my mother-in-law, she had fell ill and she was real sick or whatever. So we had started coming back and forth to Georgia. So I was like, you know what? I said, I didn't even want to come back this way. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, you know, it's bigger than me. Again, you know what I'm saying? It's bigger than me. So I end up seeing a position at Trident in Carrollton and end up taking that position. And we end up moving back. Man.
I remember I was at Trident.
Yeah, we end up moving back. That didn't work out. Like I stayed there for like 3 weeks, got into it with upper management. He think he gonna talk to you in any kind of way. So that ended real quick. Right. You know what I'm saying? That end, cause I wasn't going for that. Right. So, you know, it was another learning experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, I'm back in the U.S. and I got to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? So it just man, you gotta know it. You gotta know what you want. And when I left, they actually fired me after 3 weeks. I never been fired from a job. They fired me in 3 weeks, and for 2.5 months, I looked for job, and I found job, but it wasn't that I was willing to take because of the money. So I was like, man, like, dog, what I'm gonna do? And then one day, my sister, she was like, what you prayed for? She was like, what you prayed for? Like, she ain't know my prayer. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, what you prayed for? And then I was like, I told God. I instantly, when she said it, I knew what she was talking about. I was like, I told God, once I leave Maplehurst and once I end up coming back this way, if I do, I don't want no another job. I didn't want no another job. So I asked for that. I asked for that. You know what I'm saying? He gave me what I asked for. Right. I asked for that. I'm talking about applying for job. I know I got the resume. I know I got people calling me like, your resume perfect. Like, we need you to come in. Don't hear back from them. Right. You know what I'm saying? Don't hear back from them. And they're calling me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, and after that, man, I just decided to
go at it for yourself.
To go at it for myself.
And speaking on going at it for yourself, man, I would say shout out to Trump. Look. for this one thing, yeah. Trump passed a bill. Mm-hmm. He passed the hemp farm bill.
Yep.
I think it was a couple of years ago.
Yep, 2018.
Yep. When he passed that bill. So they opened up a lane for the CBD business.
Yes, sir. And
you took your chance on it.
Man, I took my chance on it. At the time, when I was in Nashville, like, I had got where I was smoking cigarettes real bad. I was like, you know what? I said, I'm finna get me a vape. And I ended up going in a vape store. This was like December of 2018. He had just passed the bill.
I remember that.
Yeah, he had just passed the bill in November, like a month before. Yep. And I didn't know nothing about it. So I went in the vape shop and they had these little containers with something that looked like weed in it.
Yeah.
Now I was like, man, I asked him, I was like, hold up. I said, marijuana not legal in Tennessee. So I was like, how y'all able to sell it? He was like, nah, this hemp, this CBD. I said, what's that? And then he was like, man, it's so much, I can't really tell you all. He was like, but you know what I'm saying? Go. I said, can I open it? I opened it and it smelled like marijuana. I was like, man, it's crazy. So I went home and I had to be to work. Then when I was still working in the Navy, I had to be at work at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock the next morning. I stayed up to like about 3:30 in the morning, like researching. Yeah, Google. Like I couldn't go to sleep. Right. I couldn't go to sleep because it was almost too good to be true. I just seen Dollar Sign. I called my little brother the same night. I said, boy, I found something we finna make some money out for. I said, I found something we finna make some money out for, man. And it's almost, and then I was doing it a little bit. You know, I ended up getting the oil. I ended up getting the gummies and all that stuff.
The name of your hemp business is
Premium Vapes. Yeah, Premium Vape. Right. Yeah, and so, man, I ended up dibbing and dabbing when I was in Nashville. But, like, all the product that I was getting, I had to always get it back down to Georgia because that's where I knew everybody. Right. So I was me and my little brother, man, and he was bringing it back to Georgia. Like, you know, we were doing our thing, and I was like,
everything legal.
Everything legal. Everything 100% legal. They couldn't do nothing if they wanted to.
This ain't Vlad TV.
Right. they couldn't do nothing if they wanted to, even though they might want to, but right. It's 100% legal, man. And I just, when I moved back, that's the business that I end up going with, and I just made the right connections, talked to the right people, talked to the right forums, and right now, like I could call 5 different forums, and I ain't got to put up no money if I don't want to, because I done did so much good business with them in the last year and a half, almost 2 years, that they'll give me what I want, cause they know I do good business, and that go back to always keeping your face clean.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. You said earlier about keeping that face card clean, mm-hmm. So you can always have. You never know where you're gonna be at in life when you need your face card. And that's right. All you got. Cause the first thing people see when they see you, they see your face.
They see your face.
So they got to make sure that your face. You got to make sure that your face straight.
Yep.
If you want to continue to prosper and prevail in life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So after you invested in another investment, clothes, phone cases, the club, just a plethora of things that you invest into now. Years later, you into the hemp game, and from that, let's talk about this real money, man. Hold on, man. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this real money, man. And this stocks, this crypto.
Man, that's another lane that people need. Black people, like white people, been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a couple of black folks out here doing it. You know what I'm saying? Now, with the internet, a lot of folks starting to get into it, but it's real money to be made long as you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You can lose money, too, because when I first got in it, like, I started when I was in Nashville, like, dibbing and dabbing, and I lose $100 here, lose $500 here. One time, I lost, like, $1,000 on a play, and I was like, man, I can't keep getting these folks my money like that. Right. So I started researching. You gotta do your research like everything else, and you gotta know the plays. But right now, man, like crypto is the new wave. Like, it been going on. Everybody know Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't personally invest in Bitcoin, but you got Ethereum. Ethereum, like, it's real big. I done made good returns on that. And then you got a lot of people in the Dogecoin. Like, it's up and down. It ain't really stable like that. But you know, like, even with stocks, like marijuana stocks, after a while they're gonna be legal everywhere. Right. You know what I'm saying? So those companies, like those the companies that's pushing everything, and it's on the stock exchange because they already know they need people to invest in they business to keep it going. Right. So like when it comes to stocks, man, like it's open, and it's a good investment that people need to look into. I'm still learning, but I'm getting there. And I could see me solely living off stocks and crypto. I could see myself doing that, you know, cause like I'm headed in the right direction.
So even with the stocks and the crypto, mm-hmm. See, coming from where we come from, we thought the thing was you doing it if you got money in a shoebox.
Man.
In a little bit of shoebox.
Right.
We doing it. We got money in the shoebox. And then the other thing, you doing it if you got money in a brown paper bag.
Mm-hmm.
If you got money in a brown paper bag up under your mattress, that's what the streets taught us.
Yep.
You the man if you got money in a shoebox and in a brown paper bag. Only so much gonna go in a shoebox. And only so much gonna go in a brown paper bag. But what that money doing?
It ain't doing that, and that's another reason people need to really look into stocks and crypto, because like your money can make money. Your money ain't doing nothing for you sitting there. Only thing you're doing is sitting there, and it ain't. You got to make your people get rich out making their money work for them.
Fair.
That's just what it is. Like ain't nobody getting money off letting their money sit up. Like yeah, you might make money, but you ain't doubling your money. You ain't making no returns on that money. The banks actually charge you to keep your money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why not invest? If you got money sitting up, I don't care if it's $100, $200, $300. Like you got to take that chance. Don't just put it in anything. Do your research. Do your research. Don't just give your money away. Do your research, and and find out what you're doing, and just take that chance. Because guess what? You're gonna blow it anyway. Even if you got $100, you're gonna blow it here or blow it there anyway. So you might well take that chance, because it only takes one good chance. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's real investment. So you gotta do it. These real $100 million, $200 million, $500 million company.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they ain't going nowhere. Yeah, the stocks go up and down, but they ain't going nowhere. So you just gotta take that chance and do your research.
Right. About like everything in
Like
life.
everything
You
in life.
taking a chance. You got to read.
Yep.
You got to study. You got to research, and you got to go after what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And with the stocks and with the crypto, like our community, it just sounds like that ain't for black people.
Right.
They kind of like going skiing.
Mm-hmm.
That
Right.
ain't for black people. And this ain't for black people, and that ain't golfing. That ain't for black people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a new day and time.
It's a new day and time.
It's a new day and time. So when people say that ain't what black people do, but at the same time, the same black people gonna say I'm a king and I'm a queen. So on the flip side of that, you saying that the king and the queen is limited,
Right.
to the things on earth.
To the things on
So
earth.
how can the king and the queen be limited to the things on the earth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that what I feel like that what our people gotta pay attention to and wake up to and learn to get in where they fit in there. I remember listening to Too Short, man, listening to the album, man, playing it back over and over to one of my favorite songs, and Too Short said, man, you should be getting it while they're getting it good, getting it while you can and should be getting it. And I play that song back 10 times back to back. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a fact.
It's a
and
fact.
then like you saying about the stocks and the crypto, you got to get in it while they're getting it good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's for the people that out there got the money in the shoebox. I was there. I respect that. I respect that now.
Yeah.
I know what that money in the shoebox do for you though.
Mm-hmm.
And the brown paper bag money. And I know what it is, but like I said, it's a different day and time.
It's a different day and time, and you gotta be willing to whatever you do in life. I don't care what it is. You gotta be willing to grow. You gotta be willing to grow. I don't care if it's in your relationship. I don't care if it's in your friendship. I don't care if it's your walk with God. I don't care if it's at work. You gotta be willing to grow, because if you're not willing to grow, you're gonna continue to get the same results. That's just the bottom line. No matter how you look at it, no matter what you do, if you continue to do the same thing that you were doing 5, 10, 15 years ago, you're gonna continue to get them same results. So how are you growing?
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but continuing to do the same thing but expecting different results, that's kind of like the definition of insanity, right?
Yeah. So you gotta grow, and everybody that do listen to this, like just grow. Like if you don't do nothing, it could be a little step at a time. You ain't gonna do it perfect, but at least try to go in the right direction for yourself and the people around you to make everybody's lives better.
Right. I remember coming up like years ago, and I told myself, hey, every new year that come in, you gotta have more than you had the previous year before.
Mm-hmm.
So just break it down and simply for 'em. If I had $100 coming into 2020, coming into 2021, I need $200.
I need 200.
But something ain't right.
Yeah, something
You feel
ain't
what
right.
I'm saying? I'm doing something wrong. Cause here it is, 12 months now past. It's a new year again, and I got the same $100 or less.
Right.
And so from even the simple thing like that keep my mind spinning. You get what I'm saying? Like to never go backwards and then keep forward progress at all time. And that's how life should be, because at the same time, like you getting older.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So as a man get older, a man should gain wisdom. A man should be gaining knowledge. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
A man should be getting smarter and smarter the older he get. You know what I'm saying? That's why your
right.
granddaddy can always talk to you and say, boy, you need to, because he not lived their life.
He don't live the life.
He not lived their life.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now, some of us, you know, we young, we thugging out there in the street. Man, ain't something granddaddy talking about, I'm finna goddamn woo.
Right.
But then when you get up in age, like, man, I remember my
Yep.
granddaddy told me that.
Every
I
time.
remember my grandma told me that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Every time.
Yeah, man. So, man, it was a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man.
It was
you
a
know.
it was a pleasure, man. It was a pleasure having you on the show,
had
man.
to come through.
Yeah, that's right. That's
It's
right.
only right.
I see the hat too, man.
Yeah.
God's plan.
Yeah, you better know it.
You know what I'm saying? Play that joint, man.
Ain't nobody else playing, man.
Ain't nobody else playing.
Ain't nobody else playing.
It's God's plan, man. I like that hat, man. I respect
Yeah,
that hat, man. I see that shirt too. I see the watch over there.
Oh,
I
man,
see
there you go.
What car you got out there, man?
Nah.
Which car you got out there in the parking lot, man?
I'm in the list, man.
You're the list today?
Yeah, I'm in the list.
Low key then, today, right?
Yeah, I'm low key today.
You low key. Still on the bell up, man. You know, Rose, big buck. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it been a pleasure, man. Like real pleasant time. You know, giving the folks the game, talking,
Right.
chopping it up, because a lot of people, they know a person with them,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't care about that part.
Right.
But then when a person get there, now everybody got something to say.
Yeah, everybody got something to say.
But nobody said nothing when I was there.
When I was there, then when nobody saying that.
But now, you know, yeah, I'm here now. But come on now, y'all wasn't saying that when I had them Wranglers on from Walmart.
Man, I'm
You
telling
see
you.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Y'all not forgot about the Wranglers.
Yeah, they forgot. It
Y'all
was
forgot about
a
the Wranglers.
it was a journey.
A journey.
It was a journey. Like Nipsey said, it's a marathon.
Right.
It ain't a sprint.
Right.
It ain't a sprint. It's a marathon, and it go back to growth. Like by the time you keep growing, and if you doing what you setting out to do, it ain't always about money. Like, but you keep growing, no matter if it's spiritually, mentally, whatever. Physically, whatever. Sooner or later, you gonna look up and like, dog, I done made it to my big goal. But you look back and be like, dog, look what all I had to go through to get here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you respect it more. You respect it and you love it. You love it more because you like it didn't come easy. Right. And nothing worth having it gonna come easy. Nothing.
That's a fact, man.
Nothing.
That's a fact, man. Y'all heard it first here, man. Let's talk about it. I told y'all it's a different conversation. Let's talk about it, man. A different conversation with your boy Maserati Pez. Seeing him with Remond Crowder, man. AKA, I know him in Money Mun, and y'all already got the scoop on it, so y'all know why I call him Money Mun. But get the people your info, your social media platform, and what you got going on.
Yeah, man.
How they can follow you.
Yeah, my social media on Instagram, my business page is Premium Vapes on Instagram, and you know my other one, my personal one is I've Been Official. You know, I post a lot on that, but you know most of it motivational, trying to push people. Cause I see a lot of people doing the same thing over and over and over and over. It's time to move forward. It's time to move forward. And if you ain't willing to move forward, and me and my people ready to move forward, then I can't continue to let anybody else hold me back. Fair. And so, in the meantime, yeah, man, follow me on social media. I'm there.
Right. Man, it's a pleasure, man. For real, man. A pleasure, man. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.